Okay, I thought now that I've read an entire book for this video that I would intro it. I haven't filmed the talking clip this entire time. Read Girl Abroad. This took me days. This was meant to be a week-long video. I think it's gonna keep going for longer than a week because I suffered. I suffered through this, okay? I suffered through this for you guys. No, I didn't. I don't know why I suffered through it, because I bought it, I guess. Read Girl Abroad. That was the first book I picked out of my TBR jar to read for this video, which is reading books that my TBR jar picks for a week. Or my TBR jar picks my reads for a week. Parentheses, it's gonna be more than a week. Moral of the story is I read Girl Abroad. I disliked this book so greatly. It was dumb. Millie agrees, actually. It was missing everything I wanted it to have. I didn't bought this book before I saw everyone else's reviews, like before I saw Sarah Caroli talk about it and talk about how she DNF'd it and etc, etc. But I also knew when I bought this, I think, that the main character is a history major and she's studying European history. And Millie, that's what I'm trying to tell him, bro. European history, English history, that's me. That's my heart. I studied history. I am a history girly. I love English history. So the fact that this took place in London, I studied abroad in Scotland. Not the same country, similar. I studied history abroad in Scotland. She studies history abroad in England. So I'm like, okay, this book is for me. Because like, I know there's a love triangle, but at least I'll get the good history aspect of it. At one point, she says like, oh, I'm really passionate about libraries. Like, I know, girl. Like 50 pages in, she's like, I'm really passionate about libraries. I swear on God, she had not mentioned libraries more than once before that. She had not been in a library. We had not seen her being passionate about libraries. I didn't even believe it. And that's what the whole book felt. I don't know. It was just, love triangle, not for me. That might be the moral of the story. I don't think read a love triangle romance. Not since like The Summer I Turned Pretty. And I'm not doing it again. Thanks. But I have my magical Starbucks mug because I didn't have a jar. Who owns jars? Who's 22 and owns a jar? Probably someone, but I wasn't gonna go buy them. Okay, I want to pick another book. Okay, I'm digging my hand in and digging around. I'm feeling this one. I'm scared though. Oh my God, I don't know what that says. Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon. Interesting. I'm into that. I forgot this was in there entirely. I also borrowed this book from my sister like probably 8 months ago and have not returned it because I have not read it. So this will be good for me. So let's go read Killers of the Flower Moon. Hello. Oh my goodness. Can you tell I never take my mascara off? You can actually, yeah. If you don't know this angle, you didn't watch my 24-hour readathon. I'm in my bed. I'm working on Killers of the Flower Moon. It's been good so far. I'm 60 pages in. I would love to get to 100 tonight. Don't know if that's gonna happen because it's a slow read. Very slow read. It is a history book, in case anyone was wondering. It's about the Osage Nation and some murders. It's like history meets crime meets politics, I would say. It's pretty history heavy. There's a bibliography. So, I mean, that's how you know it's like history. Which, as we talked about earlier, I'm very into, so I'm loving this. It's bringing me back to being in school and it's bringing me like a lot of joy actually, and I'm really enjoying this like deep dive into this topic. I think that David Grann wrote also The Lost City of Z, which I think I have read. I think I listened to the audiobook of that. That's my update. I'm like 13 or something percent, 16% maybe into Killers of the Flower Moon. Really enjoying this. She's seen better days. She has this little thing, the overhang, whatever. Not into it. I don't, like, what is the point of this one too? Because like the only thing you can see is this. Like, I'm telling you, yes, it's a little blown out or like overexposed on the camera, but like that's truly the only thing you're getting from that. Like it is just like light yellow. I don't understand. I don't get why we needed to do that. I'm gonna read and I'll probably talk to you. I mean, I don't know if I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's be so real with myself. Maybe soon though. Howdy everyone. This is the angle you're getting. As you saw, I pulled a new book to read. And that book is Light Lark. I'm really excited to read this because I've heard so many good things. But I've also heard that the second book is way better than the first book, so I'm a little nervous. And I haven't read fantasy in a long time, so I'm also equally as nervous about that part of this. I think people describe this as like Hunger Games. Yeah, I'm not a big like Deadly Games fan, I don't think. I mean, maybe I'll come back and say something different about that like after, but as far as I know right now, I'm not a big Deadly Games fan, so we'll see how I'm feeling about the Deadly Games. Like, I just feel like the Hunger Games did it and we don't need to keep doing it. I'm gonna turn my car back on because I turned it off. I turned it off so that the AC wasn't making noise, but and turn my car back on, start this little book. If you see me and you think, why does she look like that? It's because I just woke up. Okay, mind you, it's been days. It's actually been a week, probably, since the last time I've filmed. I'm in a slump. And not a reading slump. I don't think I'm in a reading slump. I'm in a life slump. And I'm not super like excited about this book, but I'm gonna push through. I'm like almost 100 pages in after a week. So I'm gonna work right now to like knock out a chunk of this book, okay? I want to get like 200 pages in. That's my goal for today, because we're looking at 400 pages. So if I could get 200 pages in, then I'm halfway through. I would love to get this book done this weekend and have this reading vlog be done. Hey y'all, it's been. Welcome. I have been gone and not filmed for a good chunk of time. Now that you know that, but now I'm telling you, so now you do know. It took me a long time to finish this last book. I finally pushed through it on, over the weekend on Saturday and finished it. And I have been in such a massive life slump, not even a reading slump, just life slump. And so I cannot fathom the idea of doing another book off my TBR, from the TBR jar, because I need to read what my heart wants to read. And I have to read my book club book tonight anyway. So I've got other obligations. I need to read what my heart desires. I wanted to talk a little bit about the books I finished in this video. However, I want to give you my comprehensive reviews after quite a bit of time has passed. So, as you know, the first book I read was Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I think I share a lot of the same thoughts as the rest of like Book Talk and BookTube. I think we're kind of on the same page about this book. I wanted to love this, guys. I majored in history in college. I love history. I love studying history. I love European history and English history. This was up my alley for that reason. However, and I also studied abroad. So like, this is like, I was like, this book was made for me in concept, right? And then you add the romance in. And then you realize it's a love triangle. And I don't like love triangles. I don't see the point. It doesn't make me feel any type of way besides bad. There was a love triangle in this book. I didn't care for it. I don't want to read a love triangle. It feels juvenile. I haven't had my coffee. Oh, it's literally like 7:15 a.m. And my thoughts are like moving like so slow. I think I talked about it, but the history part of it also was like convoluted to me, maybe because I was skimming it. I don't know, because I didn't care. It was convoluted. It wasn't giving what I wanted. It was such a ridiculously unmature and like undeveloped ending and like parallels at the end that I was like, oh, like you could not have made it any more obvious. And I like didn't think about the ending because I wrongly assumed that it would be more mature, more developed than that. It wasn't. And I did not like it at all. 2 stars. And the 2 stars is literally just for the history major representation. Yep. This is where things took a turn, okay? I picked Killers of the Flower Moon out of the TBR jar. This I had been like close to reaching for a couple times in the last like couple months, but I was kind of afraid. I was intimidated because I haven't read a history book for a little bit since I graduated. And this is a history book, I need you to know. There is notes, there's references. This is a history book. This is a reputable history book. This is nonfiction, but I would call it history. It is history with a narrative, a wonderful narrative. I didn't realize going into this that I love this author. This is not my first book by him. I love the concept of his books. I think he does a lot of historical mysteries, which I think is so cool. It like plays into like the way I love crime and true crime and mysteries, and then it also plays into like the way I love history. So I adore that. This book was astonishing. This book was amazing. This book made me have so many thoughts. Yeah, so many realizations hit me throughout this book. If you didn't know, this is about the Osage tribe, and in the 1920s they were really, really rich because of oil, because their land was on oil and they had the legal rights to sell the right to the oil, and so they did. And this was like a lot of oil, so they made a lot of money off of this. And then suddenly a lot of them are turning up dead, and it's like slowly unraveling. They were being murdered, and that's like sort of where you go to begin with, and it really is like a narrative. It also talks about the beginning of the FBI and like policing a little bit, because obviously that's relevant, and policing was a lot different in the 1920s, and the FBI was a baby in the 1920s. So it discusses all of that. I loved this book. I love this author. I'm going to read his other book. I'm going to read his other books. The other one, the one that came out, I think in 2023, is like a pirate sort of mystery. Anyway, did I say I gave this 5 stars? Because I gave this 5 stars. This was everything I wanted and more. I will give the disclaimer, it's probably not for everyone. I love history. I love history novels. I like historical mysteries. I love Native history as well. This was like targeted for me. That is just my personality. If you don't want to read a history book that is like clearly well cited, well written, and yes, it does have that narrative flowing through it, so it feels like a story. However, you can tell that there's like a basis of like good historical writing and good historical practices behind the narrative. And that might not be for everyone, but it is for me, and it will always be for me. Killers of the Flower Moon was a 5-star read. As we know, I then picked Light Lark out of the TBR jar. I bought this recently, okay? I was feeling excited about it because I had heard good things on TikTok. And then the second I bought it, I started hearing mixed things on TikTok right out. And I was like, okay, that's like karma for me for just running and buying this book without knowing what it's about. There's like 6 rulers and there's a challenge. Every 100 years, there's a challenge they go to break a curse that affects every single person in this like realm. So it's like the 6 rulers, and they're there to try and break a curse, which is a prophecy, which is a riddle. So they're trying to figure out a riddle, basically. But it's like a deadly game as well, because the riddle says like one ruler has to die. Beats me. This was crazy because the entire book, I was not on board. I was not on board the entire book. I felt like the romances, because there were 2, it's a love triangle, poorly developed. I was getting plot. I was not getting emotions. I was getting none of that. I felt no connection between the main character and the love interests, either of them. I think I was shocked, actually, at the end when it was revealed, kind of. I don't know why it would have been a reveal, but it was a reveal to me because I was shocked that one of the love interests was a love interest. I thought they were just friends that whole time. I did not feel anything. I felt like there was no flirting, there was nothing. So I felt like the writing of relationships in this book was crazy. It just felt undeveloped. Even the friendship in this book, I think I didn't get it either. It didn't feel like a friendship. Like we didn't see enough of that relationship develop in ways that were outside of the plot for it to like pack a punch. You know what I mean? I gave Light Lark 2 stars. I will say the end, like the last 30 pages, had my jaw just agape. I was literally like, I will say the end kind of made me want to read the second one, but I don't know that that's like in the cards for me. Maybe I'll put a hold on Libby, but I don't think I want to buy the second one. I've heard really like that people love the second one more. I don't think I have it in me for the love triangle. Like I thought one part of this love triangle, like I thought this wasn't a love triangle. Like I said, I thought one of the love interests was a friend and the other one was the love interest. And if that's how it was, I would be interested in the second one. But I don't care for the love triangle. It gave mess to me. I love the concept. The idea is there. I would love to see what Alex Astor, the author, writes in the future. I would love to see their writing develop. I think this is her like debut novel. I think there's potential here for this author. I gave this a 2-star. Anyways, I got to go. I've got places to be. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Comment down below what your most anticipated book on your TBR is, if you have one. I assume you do if you're a reader and you're watching this video. Every reader has a TBR. I hope you enjoyed. Please do all the YouTube things, and I will talk to you later. Bye.